Hey everyone, it's Mike here, and in this video we're going to be talking about decoding Disney VHS movies. You're going to be able to find these all over the place, garage sales, thrift stores, flea markets, and some of them are worth buying, some of them just aren't. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to go through a lot of the commotion about the classics, the Black Diamond edition. I'm going to talk about the strategies of how I would sell these and how I've sold these in the past, and are they worth a fortune? So, typically where you'd sell these at, guys, once you find the ones that are profitable, you're going to be selling these on platforms such as eBay, Amazon, Etsy to some extent. But, there is a craze for some Disney VHS movies. There's no doubt about it. You can go on YouTube and look at some of the collectors that are looking for specific films, or it's a whole community out there. And even though majority of the Disney VHSs are worthless to some point, there's some rarities between them because of simple things like the different commercials that pop up before the film. It's strange, it's crazy, I know, but we're going to go through all this here, guys, and talk about it. Recently, the past couple of years, people have been boasting about, oh my gosh, these Black Diamond Disney VHS movies are going through the roof. And as you can see from here in this example, there are 3 Beauty and the Beast here that sold for over $16,000. I know, $16,000 is crazy. Now, you can look at this one of two ways. I'm going to describe to you how I feel about this. I think this is just a bunch of nonsense, because if you look up and do some history on the Beauty and the Beast, Black Diamond, I mean, you could sell these for $20, $30, $10. So the people that are selling them at this price, I don't even know if these transactions are actually happening or if somebody's laundering money or whatever, but if this was the case and this particular Black Diamond edition was worth this type of money, there'd be a lot more people selling them at that price point, guys. It's like anything else. It's supply and demand, and it's all about what the customer is willing to pay. So here, I just think these were some rarities, some more along the lines of just maybe some money laundering here, because if you found a tape like this, 92 Beauty and the Beast, Black Diamond edition, I would say that, at the end of the day, it's not worth what you're seeing on the screen. So let me first get into, before we start getting into the meat and potatoes of this quick video, about how to identify these Disney Diamond editions, right? And as you can see in the middle of the screen, this is the actual clamshell case the Disney movies have. And these movies came out, guys, from 88 to 93 with this Classics logo, which you see here on the right-hand side and the left-hand side. This is how you identify them. And so you know how to identify them. This is how it is. There's no big secret to any of this like this, right? But at the end of the day, you're going to say to yourself, what's the hype for? What's the deal? Again, they came out for a short period of time. They were one of the first movies from Disney being released on VHS. Now, back in the day, it was, when these movies came out, it was a big deal. I mean, that's why you see a lot of people, you might go to garage sales, or even your family members will have a collection of Disney VHSs, because at the time it was unheard of. And when they're releasing them, it was like, oh my gosh, I could finally watch that film over and over and over again. But in terms of reality, the Black Diamond edition VHSs really aren't worth very much, except for select few, and we'll talk about that here in a second. So again, there's 18 of these here. You got classic titles like Dumbo, Bambi, Cinderella, Alice in Wonderland, Peter Pan, Lady and the Tramp, Sleeping Beauty, 101 Dalmatians, The Sword and the Stone, The Jungle Book, Robin Hood. There's 2 Rescuers movies in here, Fox and the Hound, The Great Mouse Detective, Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin. So if you were to look at these and kind of break them down in terms of, okay, what are we looking at here, Mike, right? We're looking at the fact that this is the complete collection of these. And this is, if you had them all, obviously you can demand a higher price for these. But at the same point in time, the one-offs just aren't going to bring the cash, right? Now, I'm going to talk to you guys here about this, because if you find a sealed copy of one of these Black Diamond editions, they will bring some money. I mean, you're not going to get $1 million in the bank account, but there are collectors that are looking for these Black Diamond series, or really any VHS Disney that's sealed. So if you find these at the thrift store sealed, I recommend pick them up. Again, the Black Diamond ones, they're all over the board. Some can go for 20, some can go for 50. Recently, the Beauty and the Beast Black Diamond edition was going for $100 to $150 sealed. So, but the majority of these, in terms of a used copy, they're going to bring you $4 to $10 shipped. I mean, there's no denying that if you look at the numbers and see exactly what's going to what is going to happen if you picked up some. So, again, lots of VHS tapes, Disney tapes sell on eBay. and they don't have to be the Diamond Collection. You know, obviously the Diamond Collection sells. I would say really it would sell more in the complete set. That'll bring the top dollar for people that are Disney heads and they're looking for this type of stuff. But if you come across other titles that are out there, there's so many of them out there, from like Mulan to, you know, Jungle to Jungle. I mean, Disney's got a huge catalog of VHS movies that are out there, and they do sell. There's no doubt about it. They do sell online, and some of them sell individually on Amazon. There's no doubt. But so anyways, guys, so that's kind of the hoopla of the Black Diamond series. It's kind of this like myth that's going around, this rumor, and for you that don't know, you're like, you know, now you know. You got the information here. So let's really legitimately look at the movies that you should be focusing on in terms of Disney VHS. All right. Now these titles here, all of these range from, if you find these titles, they range from $35 to $60, give or take. Now these aren't all set in stone, but this is just based on data that I've looked at and seen what's going on, and I've sold some of these titles. They do bring some money, and again, with these type of titles, don't be afraid to keep your price high, right? So let's talk about some of these titles. We've got Disney's Halloween Treat. We got the Walt Disney Love Leads the Way. Now notice, you see the old school Mickey logo here, guys? You see that? These are the ones, if you see these, pick them up and definitely look at them, because these are the originals. These are the classics that came out in the 80s. So you got, you know, Oli Hot Noodles, you got Tiger Town, you got Call It Courage, The Adventures of Chip and Dale, and one of the original Alice in Wonderlands. These, again, if you see these, and trust me, if you're looking around, you're going to find these in the thrift store. I see them, guys. I mean, I've picked a lot of these up. Garage sales, especially estate sales. Go to the basement, right? Somebody's just got a stack of VHSs there, and a lot of it's going to be mumbo jumbo. But you know, knowing the titles, this is why I wanted to make the video to show you, is key. So you can go through and say, okay, I remember Mike talking about Disney's Halloween Treats, right? This next batch now is these are $60 to $100, guys, give or take. Again, right? Based on the market and based on if it's all depending on if the buyer's willing to pay for it, right? So we got titles like American Heroes, we got The Girl Who Spelled Freedom, Music for Everybody, Ducky Disaster with Donald and His Friends, The Ranger of Brownstone, Dr. Sin, and Welcome to Pooh's Corner, which Pooh's Corner, there was a series of those, and they're all worth good money. But again, these are the titles, right? These, if you truly understand the Disney collectibles and you understand how the VHS market works, these are the ones people are paying big bucks for. So let's move on to the next batch here. These are the cream of the crop in terms of Disney, and in my opinion here. These go for $100 and up. Some can go for, you know, Songs of the South. That can go for, I've seen it go for $200-$300. It just depends on the market at the time. But titles like Tonka, The Horse Masters, right? The Great Western Cowboy, and Snow White Live at Radio City Music Hall. These are rare titles. There's no doubt about it. And these are the ones that you should be looking for. So to kind of wrap it up there, guys, you know, there's all those titles we just talked about. These are the ones you really want to pay a close eye to and be on the lookout for them, like a Bolo or a Bilo, because those are the ones that are going to bring you the money. The Black Diamond Collection, sure, you could bring you a little bit of money here and there, but I think overall, if you found one sealed, that's the money there. Or if you had the complete series, there'd be no reason why somebody wouldn't drop $100 on the complete series. But other Disney VHS to consider, you know, the banned version of The Little Mermaid with the cover art, right? That was a big issue, and that one still brings up some demand. These are two killer ones, the Tailspin and the Dinosaur series. The Dinosaur series was the Jim Henson series. If you find these, they're worth good money, guys. Sing-alongs, any type of Disney sing-along, just depending on what it is. Not all of them are worth money, but some of them are out there, and some are hidden gems. Spanish versions of Disney movies are worth some money, along with the international ones as well, like the ones from Japan or Europe. And then believe it or not, if you find the older ones maybe on Betamax, those Betamax ones can be definitely worth some money. And again, back to what I was saying in the earlier part of the video here, when I was talking about the rarities, you know, these collectors, these guys are collecting these Disney VHS movies, they've got it broken down with science, right? Based on whether the label on the actual VHS cassette is black or it's white. You know, they look for all these different variants of it, and then they say this one's rare, this one's not. Now, a lot of people don't know that in terms of resellers, right? Because it's all like an underground thing with these guys that are, and these women that are collecting these rare, in their eyes, what they consider rare Disney VHSs. And again, going back to, you know, the FBI warning screen, they'll look at that and say, is it green? Is it purple? Is it red? Oh, I got the red version. Now, again, if you want to get really into this, you know, definitely spell it out and raise your price. right? Once you go through, let's say, 30, Dumbos, and you realize there's, 7 different versions, whether it's different FBI warning screens, different trailers before the actual movie starts, and the previews, along with the different Disney logos, right? There's some where Mickey's like black and white. There's some where Mickey's colored. There's some where he's like neon. So these true collectors, that's what they're looking for. Unfortunately for us, as resellers, we'd have to go through, watch the film, mark it all out there. But it could be worth it, and especially in the long term. I think as time moves on, people want stuff from their childhood, and especially anything Disney. People are going to go ape stuff for Disney, and they're going to start pointing out what the rarities are. So if you can catch on to that game early on, it might be something to definitely consider. So, and then really, guys, to kind of sum up the rest of the video here, to get you on your way to go out there and start making money with Disney VHSs. These are some 3 things that I invested with my business that might help you. It's having a working VHS player, right? That's definitely key. Not saying you have to watch the whole movies, but just make sure it's working correctly. You don't want to ever sell anything untested, and especially when you're trying to get top dollar for it. Also, too, a VHS rewinder. Both of these items you can find in plentiful amounts at garage sales and thrift stores for relatively cheap. Invest in those. 6x9 self-seal suffocation warning poly bags. I love using that, not just for VHS movies, but DVDs, video games, etc. It gives that sense of, that you respect that item. And when somebody gets that in the mail and they open it up, it's all presentation. They look at that and say, oh, man, this looks great, And then the other one is these 1-inch retail round clear package seals. It's the same seals you see at Target or Walmart. I recommend getting those because, you can get those where they're self-peel. They're not going to stick. And you can place it on the bottom of the VHS tape if you have the open top tapes, the cardboard tapes. That way the tape doesn't slide in and out. So just some tips there that I wanted to give you guys if you're out there and you're looking for VHS. I hope you appreciate the information here. Again, there's money out there. There's so many opportunities. There's so many products to look at. You just at some point you got to look at it and say, hey, wait a minute. Am I missing opportunities at the store because I didn't research Disney VHS? Here you go. In under 10, 15 minutes, guys, you've gotten the information. Go out there, take the action. Till next time, I'm out of here. Peace.